Hello everyone! Have you seen this? Because I noticed this first last night, or I started hearing about people talking about Final Fantasy not being on sale. So as I woke up this morning, I decided to see if I could find anything about it, and here we are. So this came out yesterday on December 16th, and is called Response to Congestion as of December 15th. I do quite like how they're responding to the congestion issue. I've had to deal with quite a bit of it, ranging from my queue times being 5 minutes up to 5 hours, depending on when I'm logging on during the day, which can be quite annoying. I've had several times where I actually turn on the game, I load into the queue, and then I go play something else, or I go take a bath, or just generally, like, I can look at the number of people in queue and kind of estimate, like, if it's more than 1,000 to 1,500, I'm gonna be here well over an hour, so it's gonna be fine that I go do something else. So let's see what our lovely leader Yoshi-P says. We apologize for ongoing congestion that has been occurring since early access and the official launch of Endwalker. It's been nearly 2 weeks since the start of early access, and players are still experiencing substantial congestion when logging into the game. As we have new content set to release in upcoming patches, I would like to provide you with several updates on our plans to address the issue. I do appreciate they already have a plan to address the issue, and that they're actually telling us what they're going to do. Right, first is additional game time compensation. We are aware that the long waiting times to log into the game are preventing players from playing, and for this we sincerely apologize. In response to this, we recently granted 7 days of game time, but now we will also be granting an additional 14 days. Wow. This will apply to all players, including those with multiple accounts, who own the full version of the game and have an active subscription on Tuesday, December 21st at 12 AM PST, which is the scheduled release date for patch 6.01. Further detail regarding eligibility will be announced separately. Huh. I thought they would maybe add another 7 days at most. 14 days extra. So all in all, that's 21 days of just free game time. That's almost a month. Nice. That is really nice. Like, I'm not gonna complain about that. That's actually really handy. It doesn't fix that some people haven't been able to log in and that they've taken time off and everything, but I think this is actually a really nice way to try to make it better. Like, it doesn't fix it, but maybe it helps a little bit. So that's lovely. Suspending delivery of packaged version and temporary suspension of digital version sales. Okay, so this is what I heard about. Players are currently experiencing extremely long wait times due to the dense concentration of play hours which far exceed our server capacity. Yeah, especially during the peak times, so we have decided to temporarily suspend the sale and delivery of Final Fantasy XIV Starter Edition and Complete Edition, so you can't buy the game. Additionally, although those with an active subscription are prioritized to log in, free trial players are unable to log in outside of late night and early morning hours. And so we will also temporarily suspend new registration for the free trial. Okay, so we can't get any new free trial players, and those who are on free trial can't log in outside of late night and early morning hours. Is this something that has already been going on, or is this a new change? That has to be annoying. I mean, yeah, I understand, obviously, paying customers should come first, but it's still, I think that this is something they don't like to have to do. These temporary suspension will be phased in over the next few days as we work with our retail partners. We will be cooperating with them as swiftly as possible, but please bear in mind that this will be a gradual process. Well, understandably, I think it has to be really complicated to put a ban on selling your game. Like, the digital ones are easy because they can contact Steam and obviously themselves, and then I guess PlayStation and Xbox, because I think you can play Final Fantasy on the consoles. So that should be quite easy to like cut off. But then we have also the physical retailers. Ooh, and there's a lot of them, and that's like that has to be kind of complicated. I would not want to be the one trying to like figure out how to do that. We will also be suspending all new advertisement. However, it will not be possible to suspend some of the advertisement due to the nature of how they were set up. We appreciate your patience and understanding regarding this matter. Yeah, you have to pay, I think, for advertisement. You have to pay like, I want my advertisement for run to this time, and then you pay for it. So if they would spend those, they would lose a lot of money. Expansion packs and collector edition upgrades will continue to be available for existing players so that they may upgrade as needed. To those who have been invited by their friends and family who have been considering joining, as well as our retail partners, we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, and ask for your understanding and cooperation in order to reduce congestion. We will continue to monitor the situation as we consider the timing around resuming sales. Gosh. This has to be such a weird thing to deal with. Like, the goal is obviously to sell the game, and not being able to sell the game just it's such an odd problem to have. It's like your product is too popular, so you have to stop selling it because you can't keep up. That is a very different problem than I think most MMOs tend to have. It's in a way a good problem to have because it means you're very well liked and you have a very active community, but on the other hand, it doesn't look good to have a lot of congestion, especially for new players. So I do think it makes sense to stop the sales for now, because otherwise you're going to give people a really bad first impression of the game that isn't really warranted, because the game is very good. And the queue times, this is something that's just new. Like, I've been playing now for 7-8 months, maybe 7-ish months. I started this summer, and like, this is the first time I've been having any type of issue with the game. Like, there has always been a queue, but it's always been just the same, like 35 to 50 people at most. So I think several hours of congestion isn't really good. I like this. I like that they're actually working on this. Oh, they do have updates regarding the addition of new local data centers and world. And this is something I'm quite interested in. Since July 2021, in order to accommodate the significant increase in the number of new players, we've been working toward building a new logical data center and adding new worlds. However, due to the effects of COVID-19 pandemic, we have not been able to make any additional due to suspension of semiconductor production at manufacturing factories, decrease in production quantities, as well as shortage of raw material. Although we are investing much more money than usual, our attempts to alleviate the ongoing congestion situation are being delayed due to the physical shortage of server equipment. With the help of IT equipment vendors from all around the world, we are slowly beginning to receive information about delivery dates and figures. Considering the high specification requirement for Final Fantasy XIV servers, along with the fact that adding a single logical data center requires hundreds of servers, We invariably need much more time, but we are starting to see some progress in line with this. The server and infrastructure team are working together to plan for a new edition, and we hope to be able to provide some sort of a roadmap by the end of January 2022. We are considering adding servers to each region, especially plans for a large-scale addition in North America and Europe, and we'll be looking at the number of server infrastructure, construction time, power issues, and server rack situation to see if we should do this sequentially or in one big push. Either way, the plan is to introduce a large number of additions, which we intend to carry out quickly and safely with a minimal inconvenience to our player as possible. And we will follow up regarding this matter as we progress. I am excited to see if we end up getting a roadmap, because that would be something like that's really interesting to see. They've talked about the servers before, about how they want to add new servers to Europe and North America, and about the COVID issues. So it's nice that while talking about like this is the problem and this is what we have to do now, they're also giving us a little bit more of a long-term plan, because that kind of puts me more at ease, because I know like, okay, so there are plans going on. It's a shame that they have to spend so much more money on it right now, but the current world situation just really makes this whole lot more complicated. But I'm glad they're telling us they're planning to give us a roadmap and what we're gonna do. So that's nice. Something about errors in payments. Yes, I don't think any of this. I don't want to read the patch schedule because right at the moment I'm not even in Endwalker, so I'm avoiding every spoiler like the plague. I don't want to get anything spoiled. Yeah, I think this is actually a really good thing. The communication they have is excellent. I've been playing MMOs for more than 10 years. I've been playing World of Warcraft for more than 10 years and watched how Blizzard communicates with their players. Sometimes it has been good, sometimes it has been bad. A lot of the times it has been minimal and unclear. So I quite like coming into Final Fantasy, and even though we're having like major problems, because it's really annoying having to logging on, seeing a queue that's so long that you know you're not going to get in tonight. You might as well just do something else, because as soon as you get in, it's going to be almost time for bed. And as somebody, like I work as a teacher, I have to sleep. Otherwise, I'm going to just be trash at my work. And I work with a group of 24 8-year-olds. So being tired is not really an option. So it always sucks if I come, like, if I start queuing up at 5 or 6, and I don't get online till like 11. And that means I can maybe play for half an hour, and that's it. So I'm excited for this. I am very excited for this. So, thank you so much for watching. Tell me, what do you think about this? Do you find this is like an acceptable answer? Is there something that bothers you? Are you happy to get your new, extra 14 days? Making it now 21 days in total. And have you been able to play? Like, how is the congestion for you on your server or your shard and so on? Because I am on Omega. And I, for example, know, like, I am on Omega, but some of my, the characters I use for my lore videos are on, I think it was Spriggan. They're kind of spread around the servers, because every time I'm making them, it usually just tells me, like, this is the only server you can make it on right now. And for example, Omega came out noticeably better than the other server. When it came to queues, we're talking about like the difference were like 2,000 people at prime time. So what is your server like? When you log on, what number are you getting? Are you getting around like somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 as I do? Are you getting somewhere between 3 and 5,000 like me, or are you getting something way higher or way lower? Tell me about it, let's talk about it in the comments, and I hope you have a lovely day.